Hello, and welcome to this E4Clicks Project Estimator training video. Today we're going to take a quick maneuvering lesson around your RSMeans guides. So we've looked at some of the search utilities, and we're going to add line items in a minute, but we just want to familiarize you a little bit with how to maneuver through the guide. So we're going to show you how to find the demo section in each division really quickly. We're also going to show you how to move through the book by line item by line item, or by paging up and paging down. So we'll show you some cool tools with that. We're also going to point out the information panels where you can see more information than just what's in the browse. And then we're going to explain the guide icons and show you where to find those and what they mean. All right? So we're going to swing here to E4Clicks, and we're going to start in the Browsing 2012 RSMeans Facilities window. So if you can't remember how to get here, please check out some of our other videos. We want to show you how to maneuver around. All right? So let's start with the demo sections. Does anyone know where the demo sections are located in RSMeans? If you said Section 2, you were correct a couple of years ago. Then they moved them throughout the book. So they used to be in Division 2, and now they've moved them into each division. Specifically, they've moved them to the beginning of each division. So, does anyone remember how to jump to the beginning of a division very quickly? We just start typing. So, our focus is right here in the list of line items. And so we just start typing, and I'm going to type 09. It's going to jump us to the very beginning of Division 09. All right, so at the beginning of a division, we may have an 01 section, which is the maintenance of wherever we're at. In this case, we're in 09 Finishes, so there might be a small maintenance section. And then I'm just going to page down, and I'll reiterate that in a minute. If we go to the 09, 05 section, we'll see the common work results, and 0505 is a Selective Finishes demolition. All right, so if we go to 260505, we're going to jump the Selective Electrical demolition. Do you notice how we just typed it, and it took us there automatically? Do you remember how to clear the locate field? Backspace is one at a time. Up or down arrow key clears out entire locate, and we could go to 05505, which is Selective Demolition of Metals. So hopefully it makes sense a little bit. All right, so let's go back up to 09 like we were at the beginning of this division. And what I did was I jumped around a little bit using page up and page down. All right, so I'm going to use my arrow keys, and I can move one item at a time. Okay, so let's check out the scroll bar. So now I've got my mouse. If I use the arrow keys on the scroll bar at the top or bottom, I'm going to go up or down one item at a time, just as if I was using my keyboard to do the same thing. Okay, I was doing that same exact thing. Now, I can also use my keyboard to page up and page down, kind of flipping through the hard copy book, if you will, or I can click above or below the middle of the scroll bar. 300,000 line items. You can't just grab the scroll bar and pull it up or pull it down and go to where we're at. We're going to have to actually click above or below. There's just too many line items. So what we're going to do here, if we click below, notice that we're going to jump down one page. So we're down one page, and now we can see Selective Demolition of Ceilings, which is example 09050510. If we page down again, we're going to do we're 09050520. We're in the Selective Demolition of Flooring. I'm now going to go and click above it and page right back up to Demolition of Ceiling. Do you see that? Now I'm going to move my hand over to the keyboard, and I'm going to hit the page down key on the keyboard, and I jump down to Selective Demolition of Flooring. Page up, jumps back up, page down, jumps us down. So we can use our page up and page down, or our arrow keys, the scroll bar to do the same thing, to move within our book. So hopefully that helps you maneuver a little bit. I'll show you something else. So I'm going to jump back to the beginning of the book, and then I'm going to go out to 21 here. Because I want to show you, see here, we've got some header line items, and then we've got an actual line item, and then right below here, see how we have the extra 4 numbers here? This means it's a modifier. So in the book itself, this is being modified using this line item here. So all of these either add or subtract to the value of this line item. We call these modifiers. They're all built out for you, so you don't have to do any calculations or figure out a percentage and go back and forth and create. It's all right here for you, so you can do some neat things. All right? So what we're going to do, though, in the 21, 22, and 23 series, there can be a lot of modifiers on each line item. So what we can do is we can actually show or hide our modifiers. So I'm just going to take us up here, and I'm going to show us how to unhide, or unshow, basically, hide our modifiers. So if we uncheck that, that's going to then show just how it looks like in the hard copy book where we went to 3 inches and then 4 inches and 6 inches. We then add a little notation over here to the right side of each line item that there's 19 modifiers here. So we'd have a little M and then have the number of modifiers that are being hidden. But that's just a nice way to be able to see the difference between all the modifiers being shown and actually hiding them. All right? Now, let's take a look at some of the other panels around here, since we just looked at the view panel. And I'm not going to show you all this right now, but I want to show you a couple of key things. Now let's look at the difference between bare cost and overhead and profit cost. What we can do is we can just notice our prices here, and we click the O&P setting, we'll notice that they've jumped up. All right? So let's just hide this modifiers again so we can see a little bit of a difference going. Now we can use this, or we could just click the column header, and we can see how they'll change. Make sense? We're just jumping between the bare cost and the overhead and profit pricing shown in RSMeans. You could also choose to implement a city cost index directly into each line item. And this we could put in Lubbock, Texas, for example, and actually integrate the city cost index directly into each line item. Or we could do a totaling component on top of our project, like markups or whatever. So we do either iteration into each line item, or we do a markup on top, a totaling component on top, to adjust our prices for our location. If we do both, then we've double dipped and either gone down too much or gone up too much, depending on the percentage. Right? One other thing we can do is we can notice here we just see the 3 inches. And if we read RSMeans, we actually take everything indented up and to the left and add that information for our actual line item. Or in E4 clicks, we can look at the bottom and see the line item number, and then see the full line item description in full English. We make sure every word is completely spelled out so you know exactly what you're getting there. And then on the right side, we have another information panel that actually shows us the information. So it'll show you the material, labor, and equipment costs. It shows us a couple other stuff like output and crew and stuff. If we ever need to see what a Q12 crew is, we could double-click right on that crew, and that'll open up the crew details window for us, and we can see what's included. But there's some neat information, and hopefully this helps you maneuver around and find the information that you want to find. All right, let's do one more thing here. Let's right-click, and let's look and see if we can't find out what some of these little icons are meaning. All right, so if we right-click and we go to Tools, and we can explain the icons on this window, we get the pricing guide icon legend. And this will show us that stars mean there's new line items in this year's book, the 2012, that wasn't in the 2011. F means it's part of our favorites, which we've learned about. R means there's a reference associated with it. I'll show you that. I means there's an image. And G means it's a green line item, kind of an environmentally friendly line item, and then you'll have to evaluate each one of these. RSMeans suggests it, but you'll have to see if it is for your specific line items. Let's jump to 26 real quick, and we can see we have some brand new line items in this book to do luminaire replacement. We can also see that this one is a favorite line item. See the F there? So in our favorites, we could see that that would be in our favorites. And if we click on the R, that means there's a reference. So we can just click on that one time. And if there's multiple references, we'll get the references window, and we can just click open, and it'll show us this information in a nice Adobe PDF that we can read or print out or share. All right? If there wasn't to, it would just go directly to the reference itself. Open that up. Okay? All right. Now let's just go into an image real quick. We could go to Cove Base. And we see there's an eye there. We're going to see that that puts an image up right here. So a couple years ago, RSMeans stopped printing them in the book, but we kept them in our software because they're pretty handy to help us see what we're actually talking about. All right? And let's find a green line item. So if we go all the way up to home again and go to the top, we can see that this is a G. It's a green item, and this one specifically is for greening of a building, so you have to evaluate that. But there's many, about 9,000 line items that are predetermined to be green, and then you have to evaluate it to see if it is for your specific project. All right? So that's your quick maneuvering lesson through RSMeans. Please see our other training videos or give us a call if you need any help. Thanks, and have a great day.